everybody. Welcome to this week's very spontaneous episode of Wisdom Within. I'm with my beautiful roommate, Gloria, and we were like, maybe we should do this next week. But then we were like, no, let's just do it now. Let's just do it now. Because Gloria has been doing some amazing things the past few days, and I feel like she's fresh out of it. And I was like, let's capture this vibe because we've been vibing very high this evening, and we just wanted to share that with you all. And so thank you so much for being here. And Gloria, maybe you want to talk a bit about the Temazcal to begin that you've just opened here in Ubud, and also say hi. And yeah.
Oh, I love you so much. My incredible roommate. So, talking about the Temazcal. Oh, okay, let's dive deep into it.
Let's dive deep.
Boom.
So, firstly, a lot of people I've shared that I did this experience with, they don't even know what it is, a Temazcal. So, I feel like that's a good place to start.
Yes. Oh my god, I love it. So the Temazcal is it's an amazing ceremony coming from ancient traditions in America. I mean, I know that they do it also in many other countries, but the one that I'm gonna refer to, of course, is the one in America, specifically Mexico. But it's done in many regions and in many ways and in many forms, and it's basically this place in the earth, in igloo shape, made out of dirt or cement or blankets or any other material that holds.
If you want a visual, if you work better visual, go check out our Instagram because I just posted a reel of it.
Yes.
So you can see.
So it's an incredible way, I feel like to connect with ourselves, but also to create community. This space resembles the mother's womb. So basically, we go in the mother womb again to die and to be reborn.
Yeah, that's what goes down. And maybe you want to say a little bit about how it was used traditionally, because Joshua, the other guy, was talking about how people would actually give birth in there and things like that. And so it has a lot of different uses throughout history. Just like with anything, whatever intention you come into it with is going to reflect what you get out. But also maybe you can speak into a bit about connecting with the elements in it. Is it always done in the 4 doors?
Yeah. So the structure of the Temazcal, so physically the Temazcal is this, as I was saying, like this igloo, right? Now, and it has in the center, we call it the belly button, which is, imagine like a pregnant belly. Then that's the belly button. Okay. Yeah. So that's where we put the stones. So the stones are volcanic stones, super ancient, of course, so wise. And what happens? So the ceremony is, as I was saying, a prayer to life, to the elements, to the directions. Yeah, I mean, speaking of the elements, if we consider that each element has its own spirit, it also contains its own wisdom. And we are the elements also. Yeah. So the Temazcal is made with all the elements. We are made with all the elements. So as we're praying out to the elements outside of us, we're also praying to the elements inside of us. So basically, this ceremony is about bringing sacredness to life, to the outside world, to honor the life on everything, and then to also honor the life inside of us. It's really beautiful. It's so beautiful. And of course, because it's dark, is dense, is claustrophobic, like it can be like quite intense experience. So it's also about a sacrifice and the offering of staying in discomfort. Yes. You know? I mean, you experience it, right? Like, because imagine, like, we're sweating and we're like one person next to the other person, etc., and it's quite small, so of course it gets
there are about 20 of us in there.
Yeah. Yes, we were 21, and I mean, and we can fit more actually, like 33. But imagine, it gets like really tight, and there's actually traditions where they don't allow anybody to come out, or to move or to, and it's packed, and sometimes it's 3 rows.
Yeah, you really are facing darkness within and without. And I did one in Costa Rica a couple years ago, but it wasn't this dark. And I think I was surprised at how much the darkness of it, like, really got to me. I was like, oh my God, like, where am I? And I think I do a lot of meditation, but when you were like shouting, you're like, sit with it, like, sit in that stillness and just be. And I was like, I've heard that message so many times, but it felt hard to do that in the beginning of it. I don't know. Yeah, things were definitely coming up to be purged. And that's the thing, you're like purging physically because you're sweating, but then also it's like a chance to face your inner darkness in the darkness that you're sitting in. And so it's just a mirror for everything that's going on within. And so that's a beautiful ceremony to have that reflection as well. And so, yeah, obviously I mentioned that she actually was the one with a couple of friends who set it up. And so maybe you want to talk a bit about the journey and the process of doing that, because that's amazing to birth an idea and then have it come to life. You know?
Seeing it like this past ceremony where it was my turn to enter. So everybody enters and then I entered in the end. And when I look up and I see everybody there, I'm like, wow, it's happening. Like, dreams come true. Dreams come true. It's like seeing into from the idea into manifestation. It's just so wonderful. So I've been sharing Temazcales in Tulum, and that's where I met Josh. And actually, that's also where I met Andrew. And the 3 of us are really big fans of the Temazcal medicine, right? So then I came to Bali, and I ran into Andrew, and he was like, oh my God, there's an incredible land, and we want to do a permaculture project and have a stage and maybe do festivals and have a kids area and, making like community. So I would love to build a Temazcal. And I was like, yes, let's do it,
Wow.
So, okay, perfect. Let's plan it. This was last year in September.
Okay.
So then it was like, okay, let's create the team. And this is when Joshua and Nacho came to the picture. And so between Joshua, Andrew, and me, we started thinking about it, designing the Temazcal, thinking what materials, how would it look like, and it took maybe 7 months in order to September, December, November, March. So yeah, like 7 months to, okay, it's actually happening, right? So we pray to the land, we ask for permission to the spirits of Bali. Then we created this ritual where we are first of all designing like where is it gonna be, so that then in the center, in the belly button, we plant our prayer with quartz and tobacco, and we sing and we ask for like permission to be able to share the medicine, right? And so the ritual was amazing, and then okay, it's happening. So then Andrew was the one in charge of the whole thing. So beautiful. So we did this metal structure, like quite big, and suddenly it was like, oh my God, it's way bigger than we thought. Okay, well, let's make it happen. They brought the structure, and with these beautiful workers, Ketut and Gusti and another Nyoman, we just started like, okay, let's do it like this. And so we did mud with glue, and we just started with our hands creating things every day. So beautiful. Oh my God, so beautiful. And then just figuring it out as we went, no? So Ketut is this Balinese guy, so fucking talented. So he did this snake shape in the center of the Temazcal. So suddenly, like, the element of the snake is there, right? And then we're like, oh my God, Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl is the serpent. In Mexico, this is how it's we're representing the Kundalini energy, right? Yes. Through Quetzalcoatl, this serpent that holds the feminine and the masculine. It's so wonderful. So then we were like, oh, now let's make a head of this serpent that holds the Temazcal, right?
Wow.
So suddenly we have a beautiful head on top of the Temazcal, and then I don't know if like 2 months passed since we said the prayer to our first ceremony, and it's wonderful. It's just so wonderful, because also the thing is that it's a project in community. There's no way that one person can build a Temazcal, and that's why it's so magical. So everything starts by building the fire, and we put the stones according to the directions, the first 7 stones according to the directions, and then we set the intention to pray that to start the fire. We start the fire, we put more stones, we just continue building the fire for maybe like an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah.
As we're singing and we're like really focused, then you saw we're cleaning the Temazcal. Talia came to do it. So we clean the Temazcal, and we put the altar and the flowers, and we bring the water, and it's just like a lot of work.
So much love goes into it, and I think it's so easy just to show up and walk into something and like not realize how much. I mean, that's like with anything that's built, right? It's like you like lack that appreciation. So I'm appreciating you for doing this, and like it's gonna be amazing, you know, for people to be able to experience that and have it on this land. It's so beautiful. So if you ever come to Bali or know anyone in Bali who's visiting, then make sure they go to a ceremony with Gloria.
Yes,
amazing.
please. Yes, please. Everybody should experience a Temazcal.
And it's like with any ceremony or journey or anything you face in life, it's like, even if you have a negative, quote, negative experience, that's still a teacher for you. Even if you have that panic arise, it's like, can you sit with that panic? And that's just a mirror for how you deal with panic in the outside world. It's a place to, you know, practice. It's a practice.
See, also because so what happens is that because it's such an uncomfortable place to be in, the mind kicks in, right, and starts creating all the excuses.
Yes, I noticed that.
Why you need to get out.
Yeah, it was like, mine was like, you don't feel well right now, you need to get out. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm fine. It's like, no, you got a headache, you're dehydrated. And I was like, I know you too well, I'm not listening. But a lot of people don't have that relationship with their mind. So.
I mean, you see in the first 2 minutes, this girl was like, I need to go out. And Josh was like, okay, but wait a little bit and stay with that. And she transcended it. But of course, it's for me, the first time I did a Temazcal, I left in the middle of the Temazcal. I was like, fuck this shit. Like, I just can't deal with this because it was too much. You're going to faint. You're going to die. Something's going to happen. Blah, 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 no, right? So it's a beautiful place to really observe how the mind kicks in and how much we can decide not to pay attention to her. I mean, to pay attention to her, but not to act on what she says.
Yeah, I mean, the way you relate to your mind shapes your entire experience of this life. And so practicing that, whether it's through doing rituals or meditation or whatever it is, like I was just reading something that was saying like that is what we're here to do. Like everything else in your physical reality disappears, but like your self-realization and your relationship with becoming the witnessing consciousness is literally what we're on earth to do. So by doing these ceremonies and things, that's just like one step into doing that and learning about yourself.
Ay, qué hermosa.
Hermosa.
Yes, exacto. It is a medicine. And also because, as I was saying, you know, like we elevate the sacredness.
Yeah.
We're really touching to sacredness.
And I love what you said about the celebration, about how celebrating is celebrating all that is. Even when it's like you're in that pain, it's like, how can you like celebrate that? How, and that is like meaning, how can you make it sacred? How can you like absorb the most alchemy out of what is presenting?
Exacto. You said it in such a beautiful way.
Thank you.
Yes, that celebration, right? Like we think celebration is just being happy. No, celebration is being like, wow, this is happening. Oh my God, I feel so much pain. Oh, I would love to run right now from here. But staying, right? And knowing, oh, this is a medicine. Oh, I can observe my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, I can receive the heat. Also, the heat is intense. Sometimes too intense. This was not as hot. Sometimes it burns. And it's just like so unbearable. Like, now I'm going to die. Now I'm going to die. No, we're not dying. And so the mind then is like, she starts understanding, oh, I'm actually safe in here.
Yeah. And actually, maybe parts of you are dying.
Yeah. Also.
Yeah.
I mean, every time we go in is to die.
Exactly.
And to resignify our birth, which is incredible because it's like the opportunity that we have every day when the sun comes out to celebrate our life, to celebrate our birth, right? But okay, of course we forget sometimes. But so consciously going into, okay, I'm dying to rise like into a new person.
Yeah, because Josh, the guy, said about how birth is like your first trauma of like coming into this world and how that can be mimicked in the Temazcal, but also you get to like reclaim that in a new way of like coming back into the light from the darkness. Like, what are you bringing to that with more intention this time?
I just remembered that you asked me about how they were doing Temazcal in ancient times, and I actually didn't say anything. Women had birth in Temazcales, but also people would die in the Temazcales. Because imagine this is the coziest, the most like comforting.
Well, it mimics the womb, so it's like life is just a circle, and so it's just you born there and you die there. I mean, that's what you do in the Temazcal on any physical realization of that.
Isn't it beautiful?
So beautiful. Yeah, because just imagine when you come out the womb, the physical womb, how like traumatizing just being in all that light is, especially if it's like sterile, not natural light. You're like, you know, it's like not the vibe. So if you just stay in the Temazcal for a little bit longer after you're born, you're still in the dark.
Yes. I mean, that's a big part of our trauma.
Yeah.
The separation, the light, all the hands, like this, the way that we're...
just the chaos.
The chaos. It's quite a lot.
Yeah, when you come into this life in chaos, it's like the first thing you learn. So, yeah. So do you feel complete with the Temazcal? Is there anything else you want to share? Okay, amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode of learning all about the Temazcal. So as we said in the episode, if you are in Bali, come visit it. And also, there might be one near you. So definitely do some research into that. Next week, we'll be talking about breathwork, the power of ritual, and building an altar. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Lots of love.